I wake up to watch the sunrise, heal my pain by looking at the blue skies. I'm alive with my God, I see two minds. Mississippi burning, I prayed that I was earning. I can measure hate, racism ain't a person. All the hate they give like it never was emergence. If Jesus died for sin, why the black person burning? If Jesus died for sins, why the black person burning? Yeah. If Jesus died for sins, why the black person burning? Look at the state we in. Learned the lesson, didn't win. White man is a shadow and the black man is a sin. I'll bleed the blood again. Get the message from within. I pray for peace cause I know I'm gonna win. I pray for peace cause I know I'm gonna win. I pray for peace cause I know I'm gonna win. We pray for peace cause we know we gon' rise and shine, Earth stars. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nova Too Serious. I'm an artist. I'm from Mississippi, and this is where I channel my energy. And you know, on this video, I'm gonna be talking about different things that I go through, and like I know it doesn't matter to anybody, but I need to be able to express myself. So this is where I express myself and like not really look for a recourse. It's like I guess rejection therapy at the same time. Like because even though I feel like doing this is gonna get me rejection, I'm still gonna do it. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm showing courage. I'm brave. But anyway, as a black man in Mississippi, I find myself falling into the looms of the environment that I'm in when I'm around. People talking about their lives and different things that's going on inside of other people's lives, like first time going to school, first time experiencing the real outside world. Like my daughter is about to go to school, like for the first time, like by herself, like as a coherent little girl, like talking and choosing and picking, having her emotions. Like I don't know, I just kind of worry about it a little bit, but at the same time I feel good because I'm in a position to be available, and that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm going to completely solidify that when it comes to her being at school, because of how things are going now when it comes to education, kids in general, the way that the government in America is going to be treating kids in the future, stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know. Speaking of bad habits, I want to talk about my bad habits. My bad habits are consistently internalizing racism. And I think that the only reason it's consistent is because I've lived in Mississippi for like a long time, and move out, but then move back. Why? Because I guess out there it's a different type of racism, and like I guess they don't really care when you're not in your hometown. I'm just saying, like that's why like traveling to me is like setting yourself up to be displaced even more. Like it's really hard to explain, but like I just don't have roots. Like we got the movie Roots. We could go watch that. That's like just straight abuse. And like my roots that I have, like I'm birthed from abuse. Like there's so many different things that about me that like people would just hear and then be like, man, fuck life. I do feel that way too. But yeah, so my bad habits on internalizing racism includes, how I like to avoid cultural expression, or like I am consistently comparing myself, you know what I mean? And like keep on thinking of like being disconnected, questioning my identity to the culture, like where I stand. Do I make a difference? Did I make a difference when I was working? I feel like I did. But at the same time, like I didn't make no money. I know the companies made money. They did a thing. Like they're having it set up for us to be able to come in there and, you know, get the work done and then leave, especially on the terms that we left. Like just being able to predict that, that is just beautiful in itself. That shows a lot of intelligence, and give you guys your props on that. But I'm just talking about my moral compass and how I feel. Um, it's just stressful. It gets stressful, so I smoke. Substance abuse, and I never really smoked before. I don't really like smoking that much, and I feel like if I was in a different environment, I wouldn't smoke. I keep talking about not smoking, but the environment just doesn't like create that. But I'm not complaining because I do like smoking. If I'm around smoke, I do want to smoke. I don't know, like it's just harsh, but I'm looking forward to changing a lot of different stuff. Just have to have the courage to do it, and yeah, I isolate myself. As you can see, most of my videos are done here in this room that I'm kindly provided to Father. You know, yeah, just don't trust anybody. It's a good reason not to trust anybody. It's like, why are you so nice? And like, being nice is kind of sort of, a trigger at the same time. Like, sometimes it triggers anxiety, depression, and for some people, rage. Like, don't be nice to people that are going, through like problems because it might trigger them. But hey, like, I just wish I could be treated differently. I don't know. It's just a mix of like what nots and what to do stuff. So I guess most of the time I just emotionally overreact, or like I'm just numb to it. So like I could have been making video, I could have been doing a lot of stuff, but I've been stuck inside of my feelings about not having a job, not having money, steady income, and what I did to deserve this. And I did nothing to deserve this because I showed up to work every time at all those different jobs. So what is my problem when policy doesn't hold up for me as an honest employee? Anyway, so racial battle fatigue, I guess that's what it is. It's like I want to go to work, but I know fully well that when I get to work, the fairness of it would change. It changes, just based off of money and how they make money. By the way, I wrote this stuff on an index card from Chat GPT. I'm going to tag them inside there. So if there is any type of tag for Chat GPT. But anyway, yeah, the trauma part of it, it just shows up, the fear of authority or institution, like the silent, the silent, wait, the silence about emotions, surviving over healing. Like, should I heal? Or should I survive? That's what I've been going. That's what I'm feeling. That's the shit that I'm feeling. And trauma is like pain from slavery, segregation, violence, and systematic injustices passed down. And it also show up in me in like overcompensating, perfectionism, overworking to survive. I'm pretty sure that's what my mom is doing. Like, she is working like crazy, and man, I'd be worried about family members. Like, my dad died in a horrible murder with my sister. Like, they're both dead and gone now, and cousin DJ, he just died a month ago. And yeah, I would put that GoFundMe in my stuff, but I don't have real connections with them. I don't know how. I do have connections, but it's not like direct. I can't really put myself in that position and do that stuff when it's not my place to do that. I can't like tell anybody how to do anything. Yeah, like all this trauma shows up in those different ways, and it also leads to self-harm and different like other ways too. It's like just the repeating cycles of poverty, pain, or silence, not saying anything. Like, should I have said something about DJ? Like, because I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just trauma. That's what trauma is. Like being emotionally dis disabled. And that's kind of sort of what it's like, a forced emotional disability that I have. And like, it's not really my disability. It's just something that came with growing up and having to deal with the world and learning from family. So family, patterns of emotions and neglect, or, like hyper control, or different ways that, self-harm shows up inside of your trauma. So we're also looking at institutional gaslighting, which is, a portion of what a lot of people go through whenever they are experiencing discrimination at work. And, it's when the system says racism doesn't exist, or blame the victim over the conflicts where, like you're defending yourself. You're talking about who is doing this. You're pointing at this person, and then you're pointing at this person. You got all these fingers pointing back, but in an inadvertent way. Like, you could be telling the truth, but everybody could still look at you and be like, you're the cause. Like, you could be telling the truth about what you're going through, but people can still blame you because you brought the conflict into existence. You know what I mean? It's like whoever smelt it, dealt it, kind of type of stuff. And there's just like, I think that's what they call it, gaslighting, right? Institutional gaslighting. Examples are like, ignoring racism, criminalization publicly, like being publicly criminalized by, many people that see your your style. That's what you would call it. Because like, I don't have a lot of clothes, like I lost my clothes inside of a storage unit in Minnesota from not having a job down here that would support my ability to do those things. And yeah, I could have been looking for a job, but when I did go and get a job, there was just conflict, and there's no type of protection for that. That's what I'm saying. There's no type of just conflict. It's just people that have the ability to do what they want to do. So like, why can't I create what I want? That's where I be at, and then it's like downplayed biases, and that's in school and workplaces, and yet it equals to like self-harm in different ways, which is like, questioning reality. Like, is this the truth? Is like, am I really a crappy person for not wanting to go and work inside of like, a place that helps America, drives America? Like, if I stop and I do something for Black community, am I still driving America? That's the question. If I stop and do something for the Black community, am I still driving America? Just imagine, they talking about surveillance of people, like of indigenous people. Surveillance. If that's not terrorism, I don't know what is. Like, maybe they think indigenous people are terroristic, but it's like the whole pointing finger thing. Whoever smelt it, dealt it kind of shit. Like, maybe it's like them driving to that concept to say like, that's who you are. You smelt it, you dealt it. Like, I don't know. Just questioning reality. Like, how can you tell what's really really true, other than, like a rich person like being able to buy what truth means? I don't know. Surprising, valid anger or pain. That's where we are, and another self-harm thing is like reinforcing feelings of invisibility or worthlessness. I don't feel worthless. I feel like everything I do is going to help the economics. I feel like what I'm going to do is going to change different perspectives. But that's where the fear comes in, because I know that even a little bit of what I have is able to change like 3 minds out of 5. Like, I know this. It's probably why my stuff is so shadow banned. But what I'm saying is, as I grow and create, I receive hate. And I just haven't been defending it or defending myself against it. I don't have a gun. I don't, like, I'm not looking for violence. But it's like just very violent and aggressive with the tactics, like just 24/7 surveillance. 24/7 surveillance. You get up and go move in the middle of the night. Guarantee you there's a cop right behind me. Guarantee it's like a damn dog, like a hound. You know what I mean? But anyway, what I also worry about is community harm, violence from people that have a lack of resource, that know, hey, this guy right here is doing something. He's doing something. We gotta do something about this. Because if he get it, then I can't get it. Just like, one time I went to go and sell my art. It was like by a Walmart. I was told to leave, but it was like by a Walmart. And like I sat down, there was this homeless guy sitting there with a sign saying, anything helps, anything is good. I sit next to him with my paintings, just standing there with my paintings, like, paintings for sale. I had my sign, paintings for sale. Tell me why he got up and left. Like, I just don't know. Like, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, community harm and, for judgment or policing of others and choices, the way that people like to pursue their goals and stuff. Gatekeeping or, rivalry, just being a hater overall. This is not because of who Black people are. It is a result of oppression. And that's what Chat GPT told me. So, yeah, I don't know. I was just reflecting a little bit, and yeah, that's how I was feeling. But I don't feel that way anymore. I just wanted to express that because, like, it changes things when you actually talk about what you go through and you can make it into something. By the way, I have 3 other paintings that I'm working on. I finished one. Let me show. So I was watching a video about art, right? And it was like, make ugly art. So I decided to make some ugly art. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have, man. I might be making more videos. I might do more stuff. Ain't no might about it. I'm gonna do it. I might have 2, 3 videos a week, but I'm gonna be making videos, and there's a surprise that I'm going to be, showing here so that it could be here. Like it's like a water flow. You trickle from the beginning and you go to the end, so you can see my life, who I am, because I'm posting this. And if anybody take this shit down, it's because they're trying to erase me. Period. But that shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem because I have no harm to deal to anybody, just truth. And this is my experience. And if you guys enjoy what you're watching, you can like the video. You could comment on how you feel about it, what it make you feel, or you could subscribe. Subscribing will definitely help me out and help you out because you get to see the things that I'm going through and understand what it's like to live in Mississippi for a Black man, or a coherent Black man, or a conscious Black man, a Black man that's not delusional about what's going on. I may be a little delusional sometimes, like I smoke a little bit. I may be like, paranoid sometimes, but I have a good reason to be paranoid. Let me look at my environment. Like I said, if you like what you watch, just subscribe. You know what I mean? And it just, show support. And if you want to buy me coffee, the link's gonna be down there. I don't know if it's gonna be if it works. Like I'm gonna be working on all that stuff. But as I get that stuff together, you still can support. I do also have a GoFundMe if you would like to GoFundMe and stuff. My website is still being validated. So like after this done and it's validated, then you can check out my website, look at my art, and there's more stuff that I plan on doing. I'm fighting myself. Me versus me. That's what the name of this video is gonna be. Me versus me. But as we end the video, I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm so sorry for just the stillness and the one-on-one, but this is one of the personal ones. So thank you for watching.